my cousins who played college football, you know, he was calling me out, and he's like, I remember like when I was young, like 11, 13, 12, we wrote on a napkin, you know, like, if I do this, I'll go to the Heisman Trophy, or I'll win a Heisman Trophy. And I called him up the other day, and I'm like, did you save that napkin? And he goes, no, I wish I did. But, you know, it's really cool because obviously it's just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, something I never really could have imagined would come true, and it has.
Oh boy, has it. How you doing, everybody? Let's talk sports. As we told you last night, UH Warrior quarterback Colt Brennan is a finalist for the Heisman Trophy and will be in New York for the award presentation this Saturday. The official announcement came today. Brennan is one of 4 finalists for college football's most prestigious honor, given annually to the nation's top player. Brennan, of course, the conductor for the top scoring offense in the country this season and the nation's only undefeated team. Here's a rundown of the other finalists. Missouri QB Chase Daniel, a 70% passer with 33 TDs and 10 interceptions this year, who led the Tigers to a #1 ranking at one point this season. Also in the mix, Arkansas running back Darren McFadden, a guy who can do just about anything on the football field, 1,700-yard rusher who's run for more yards and more touchdowns and caught more passes than he did in 2006 when he was the Heisman runner-up to Ohio State's Troy Smith. Razorbacks, though, have lost 4 games this year. And then there's Florida quarterback Tim Tebow, who many in Hawaii are now more familiar with because of the recent hubbub over comments made by June Jones, where he called Brennan a better quarterback than Tebow and said that Tebow wasn't a natural passer. Tebow, just a sophomore, does do pretty well in that Gator offense, though, throwing 29 touchdowns and running for 22 more this season. But no sophomore has ever won the Heisman Trophy. So who does Colt think deserves the Heisman hardware?
I think I'll leave all the talking to Coach Jones, and I think he's got my back in that scenario. Although I could say stuff because it's not like I'm going to the Swamp next year. But you know, when I came back, I wanted to go undefeated, and everyone talked about the Heisman. And what I said in the beginning of the year is that the only way I can get to the Heisman Trophy is if I win every game this year. And considering, you know, the games I missed with my ankle, you know, and me getting knocked out of the game with concussion, and watching the team get those victories, it just feels like it's cool because it feels like my team and everybody is like a part of this, and like it's not just me, but it's a great feeling because I think like it's not like I'm the only one getting rewarded here. It feels like everybody who played with me this year is getting rewarded.
No Hawaii player has ever made it this far into the Heisman race. Ceremony goes down Saturday at 3 p.m. Hawaii time on ESPN. Then, of course, it's back to prepping for New Year's Day, Hawaii versus Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. That game will air live right here on KHON2. So, again, Saturday, ESPN, 3 p.m. Hawaii time. And we'll find out whether or not. Now that he's gotten there, and I think a lot of us were saying, hey, if a Hawaii guy gets to the Heisman Trophy presentation, that's as if he won it. That's the same thing as winning it for a guy from Hawaii. But now that he's there, it's almost, I wonder if he's going to win this. I wonder if he might win this thing.
As much as I hope so and want him to, I think the East Coast media is going to put Tebow in with Colt second and McFadden third. That's my guess.
I actually think McFadden probably, even though he has 4 losses, has a bigger case at winning the Heisman than Tebow, just because he's a guy that does everything. Arkansas would be really nothing without him. He throws the ball, he catches the ball, he runs with the football. They beat LSU. They have a couple of really good wins this season, quality wins. So I think if there was anybody to outdo Brennan in the voting, I would think it would be McFadden. But yeah, Tebow seems to be a very popular choice among some of the analysts and would-be voters out there.
Darling of the East Coast writers, especially.
That's true.
All right, well, we'll see. And keep our fingers crossed for Colt.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Carl.
You're welcome.
The last 2 games of the year, the biggest 2 games of the year were my biggest 2 games of the year. The ones that counted the most are the ones I showed up to and played the best. And, you know, I think that's my biggest selling point at the Heisman.
Over his last 2 games, wins over Boise State and Washington, Colt Brennan threw for 937 yards and 10 touchdowns. I hope you're all having a pleasant evening. Like we told you last night, UH quarterback Colt Brennan is a Heisman Trophy finalist. He and 3 others got their official invites to New York today for Saturday's presentation. Brennan threw for 4,174 yards and 38 touchdowns, plus he ran for 8 scores this season, but he missed some time with a bad ankle and concussion. That's why Coach says the honors are credit to his teammates for going 12-0. Brennan says this Heisman thing reminds him of a childhood Thanksgiving when an older cousin called him out.
I remember, like, when I was young, like 11, 13, 12, I wrote on a napkin, you know, like, if I do this, I'll go to the Heisman Trophy, or I'll win a Heisman Trophy. And I called him up the other day, and I'm like, did you save that napkin? And he goes, no, I wish I did.
Heisman finalists are Colt, Arkansas running back Darren McFadden, quarterbacks Chase Daniels of Missouri and Tim Tebow of Florida. Brennan, can you win the Heisman Trophy?
I mean, you know, I think I'll leave all the talking to Coach Jones, and I think he's got my back in that scenario.
In your opinion, who's the best college football player in the country?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to take the fifth.
Who's the best quarterback in the country?
Man, I'm taking the fifth again. Although I could say stuff, because it's not like I'm going to the Swamp next year. But I think I'm going to help Gronky out right now. Just I'll keep my mouth shut and reserve that for another time.
Coach, referring to some of the remarks June Jones has made about Tebow, Warriors kickoff 2008 in Gainesville, Brennan's phone has been blowing up.
Yeah, I got 2 phone calls from him, the most he's ever called me.
Colts referring to Arizona Cardinals QB Matt Leinart, whom he succeeded at Mater Dei High School in California.
Did he vote for you?
I hope so. I didn't ask, but I hope he did.
Brennan's the 3rd Heisman finalist from his high school. Leinart won in 2004 out of USC, and John Hewitt took it in 1964. He was quarterback at Notre Dame. So 2 other Mater Dei guys have made it to the Heisman finals. Both have won.
It's an impressive high school with their football program. All right. Thank you very much, Robert.